Okay, in this video you're going to have to write down the bases yourself. The circled ones are exponents, they're powers. So the bases, you have a b, and then another b. Now don't write the same letter twice, okay? You put a plus sign when you run across the letter again. So there's two things. So we got a 3 not in parentheses, so I put a 3 and a 6. 3 plus 6 is 9. That cannot be simplified, b to the 9th. Okay, now next one here. X to the third times x. So my base, I got an x and then another x, so I put a plus sign. Now, you put a 1 right there because you have a 3 plus a 1. 3 plus 1 is 4. Okay, and that can't be simplified because it's a letter. Okay, now b. So my bases are b. Ooh, another b, I put a plus sign. If I run across another b, I put another plus sign. So I got to find here, here, and here. So the first b would be to the 1, not in parentheses, so 1, then 8, then 2. It's 9, that's 11, b to the 11th power, okay? And you can't simplify that. Okay, that's a 3 and a 4, but those are powers. We're not worried about those when we're putting our bases. The only base I got is a p, just one of them. Okay. Now it's to the third, but it's in a parentheses, so we have to do the power to power times, and that's 12. Easy enough, not in a parent, so b to the 12. Remember, you add when there's more than one of them. Okay. Multiplication is when you make it power to power. Okay, next problem. So you might want to put a multiplication dot because you have a base of 7 dot a base of y. Don't just put 7y. Put it in the operator. Okay, so 7 to the 1, but it's in parentheses, so 1 times 2 is 2. If it doesn't have a power, you put a 1, and y is to the 1, but that's in parentheses, so we got to take 1 times 2, and that's 2. Now, I can simplify 7 to the second. I write 2 7s down and times them. That's 49. So this becomes 49 times y to the second. Okay, next one, put in your operators, 12 times y times z. So those are your bases. And only one of each, so no plussing. So 12 to the 1 in parentheses, so I take 1 times 3. That's 3. Y, I put a 1, but that's in parentheses, so 1 times 3 is 3. Z, I put a 1. 1 times 3 is 3. Now, out of these three things, the only one I can simplify is that one. So 12, 12, 12, and I multiply. Okay. $1,728. And then the letters I just put behind. The letters I could not simplify, I just put at the end with times dots. Okay. Now here, 5 times b, and then powers times b. So we have a base 5, we have a base of b, and then another base b means I just add on to the first one. You got to watch those letters. If they come up a second time, you put a plus. If you come up a third time, you put another plus. So 5 to the 1, so 1 times 3 is 3. Again, so b, the b on the left's exponent's a 4, but I don't put 4 down because it's in parentheses, so 4 times 3 is 12. Now the other b, I do just put the 3 down because that's an outside b, so not in parentheses, so 12 plus 3 is 15. So, simplify that, but you can't with that. So 5, 5, 5. So it's 125 times b to the 15th power. Simplified. Okay, now put in the multiplying. Remember, if there's not a sign between the number and the variable, that's a times. Okay, then a times x. So we have a 3 times an x, and another x means I add to the first one. So I put a 1 in parentheses, so 1 times 2 is 2. Now x's, there are 2 because we wrote a plus sign. So the first one, it's a 3, but don't write a 3 down because it's in parentheses. You have to always ask yourself, is that in a parentheses? If it is, you got to do your power to power times. And that's 6, so I fill that in with 6. Now I fill in the other side, I find my other x, and it's to the 4th. 6 plus 4 is 10. Okay, that you can simplify, so 3, 3. That's 9. There's your answer. Okay, next problem. 5, put it times y times 4 times y. Okay, remember, if there's not any sign there, you put a dot. So you got a base of 5, a base of y, a base of 4, a base of y. Seems like I already wrote that, so I put a plus. So 5 to the 1, but that is not in parentheses. It's an outside base, so it's just a 1. Y, you know there's 2 because you wrote a plus sign, so you find the y on the left, it's just a 2, not in parentheses. Then the other y is to the third. 3 times 3 is 9. So 2 plus 9 gives me 11. So on to the 4. 4 is to the 1. 1 times 3 is 3. Okay, you can simplify that, not the letter, and this. So 5 to the first is 5. And then 4 to the third, 4 times 4 times 4, that's 64. So I put 5 times 64. That's 5, that's 64. Now put your letter last. Now you multiply up till you run against the letter. 5 times 64, then I'm against the letter, so it's going to be 320. Times y to the 11th. Okay, next problem. So you got a 12 times an x and another x, so I just put a plus sign. I do not write 2 x's. So 12, 12's to the 1, so, but it's in parentheses, so 1 times 2 is 2. And x, we know there's 2 of them. So the x here, you got a 3. 3 times 2 is 6. And then 8 times 1 is 8. So 6 plus 8 needs to be added to give a 14th power. Okay. So I got 12 to the second, x to the 14th. The 12 to the second can be simplified. So it's 144. Okay. 144 times x to the 14th. Now I got a 5 times an a times a b times a 4 times an a. So we have a base of 5, a base of a base of b, a base of 4, a base of a, but I already wrote a down, so plus. You should not have 2 of the same base written, okay, on top. Okay, so 5 to the 1 in parentheses, so 1 times 2 is 2. Now a, that we know there's 2 because we wrote a plus sign, so the a on the left, that's a 2 times a 2, which is 4. And then on the other one, 2 times 3 is 6. So 4 plus 6 is 10. Okay. Then b is a 3. 3 times 2 is 6. And then the 4 exponent, you go to the 4. You got to put an exponent first. If you don't have one, you put a 1. But we don't want to write 1 because it's in parentheses. So 1 times 3 is 3. Okay. Can simplify that, not that, not that. Circle your number bases and put those together. So 5 times 5, and then 4, 4, 4. So it's 25, 64. So I put 25 times 64. Then your letters a to the 10th times b to the 6th. So 25 times 64 is 1,600. You can't go against the a, you can't multiply. Once you run into the letter, you need to stop multiplying, okay? Okay, next one. Put in the operations between the number and the letter, and a dot there. So you got a base of 5 times a base of x times a base of 2. Another base of x means I add to the first x. So 5 to the 1 in parentheses, so 1 times 3 is 3. Then x, we know there's 2 because we wrote a plus. So first one I need to put an exponent of 1, and then 1 times 3 is 3. X here, 2 times 3 is 6, so that's 9. Then the 2 to the 1 times 3 is 3. Okay, so I can do that, not this, and this. The letters you can't, the variables you can't, because you don't have numbers for those. And then 2 times 2 times 2. So 5 times 5 times 5 is 125. 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. So down here I put 125 times dot 8. Then the x to the 9th. Now you want to multiply until you run into the letter. So 125 times 8 is 1,000. Okay, that's it.